What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose Podcast, episode 51. That was Nothing's Forever by Stano and Zay Valens. Gonna be a great episode today, guys. Got some big fights coming up this weekend. Lots of current topics to go over. Let's get right into it, guys. Real quick, shout outs to the sponsors, Jackpack LLC, as well as Complete Solutions LLC. Tap in with them in Albuquerque and surrounding areas for any of your home or commercial needs. We got a big, not a big, but a pretty decent fight card this weekend. We have the main event, of course, is Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Let's see who else we got on the card here. We got Philip Rowe. That's going to be a good fight. Eddie Osborne. Not a crazy prelims. And then on the main event, you got Jacoby Smith. You got Michael Fajeda, Dan Ige, Sergey Spivak. Co-main's going to be Geoff Neal versus Usos Medic. And in the main event, we got Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. This is a tough fight, right? It really depends on what Sean Strickland shows up, right? Anthony Hernandez has been on a streak. We know what we're going to get out of Sean Strickland. I feel like just with the timing and everything, it could change later in the week, but as right now, I'm taking Anthony Hernandez by either unanimous decision or a late stoppage. Of course, it's going to be 5 rounds, so we'll see how that one goes. And then after that, I'm sure there's going to be some, fights after the following weekend. We'll get into that next week. Something we had over the weekend as well, we had Karate Combat. Now, Wing C, I don't know if everybody knows, but this guy is a character. He got the W, though, right? You can't really say anything when somebody wins. He's awkward. He's not, your normal type of fighter and stuff like that. He does a lot of very weird things. Karate Combat, let's run it. I would definitely be down to compete with him at 135 pounds. In the main event, you had Valter Walker wrestles. I want to get the guy's name right. I know his last name is Williams. But they had a grappling match. The guy has no legs. What the hell is this? I don't even know what Karate Combat was thinking with it. Obviously, Valter Walker, submits him, right? Like, they messed around for a little bit. They did a couple little things. And then Walker ended up submitting him. So I'm not sure what they expected, what they were trying to do. Maybe they were just trying to get some views off it, right? And then after he wins, he calls out his brother, Johnny Walker, in the UFC. Very weird. He was like, next, me and Johnny, let's grapple it out here in the Karate Combat, and then let's fight in the UFC. He's not a real Walker. I don't know. It was very, very weird overall. I'm not sure what Karate Combat was thinking with that, but nonetheless, it happened. Mad disrespectful to choke Buddy out like that, so at least in my opinion. Now this weekend as well, you have Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. This is going to be a great fight. No disrespect to Barrios. Out of all the champs at 147, this would be the most winnable fight for Ryan Garcia. Couple reasons, right? Mario Barrios is a dog. He's earned everything he's gotten. He's nothing but hard work. And so he's going to be hittable, though, right? He's always down for war. He's going to be there to exchange. He's a little taller than Ryan. And with Ryan's hook and his style of that fast twitch, ripping shots off, I could see him stopping Mario Barrios. I see, it's going to add up. He's going to be quicker. He's going to be getting shots. Ultimately, later in the fight, I see a, 8 to 10 round stoppage by Ryan Garcia. But I think it'll really be a great fight. I was watching the on the ground, the buildup, and Barrios isn't really a trash talker. Some of the lines DAZN was literally giving him, as they were recording for him to talk trash. They're basically kind of making him talk trash. It was just very weird. I'm sure that's not the first time something like that's been done, but it was weird that they actually put it in their own video for people to see. So I'm not sure, what they were trying to accomplish with that. White House card. So allegedly over this past weekend, hopefully we start hearing stuff this week, but Dana and them were supposed to really be working on all the matchups. Supposedly it's just going to be 6-7 big fights, right? And I think the reason I've kind of said it before why they went with that number was, again, if you have if you had a title fight in every division, right, and all of them went the distance, you're gonna have a long night. So they got to look at it like that. 6 to 7 bangers. I would say there's probably gonna be 3-4 title fights, maybe just some bangers. GSP is rumored to be on there. Who does he fight? I don't think he'll really come back and fight like a Hamzat. I think he would be more of a Nick Diaz, kind of a legendary type of fight, if you will. And then, of course, Conor. Who is he fighting? Michael Chandler. I don't think that one's even in the running. The one with George Masvidal has a little bit of a steam to it. And, does Conor Nate 3 happen at the White House? Obviously, that doesn't mean anything, but the White House card really has to appeal to the masses. It has to be these big names and some entertaining fights with what they're trying to accomplish with it. So something funny I saw, and I mean, you got to be confident. It was last weekend whenever, not last weekend, but the weekend before when Shakur was out there for his fight and had the Ring Magazine event. Richard Hitchins runs into Terrence Crawford, tells him he's too little, tells him he would stop him. Like, that's crazy. After what we saw him do to Canelo, come on, buddy, stop it. In no way, shape, or form would that actually happen. It's just funny. Again, you got to be confident, but yeah, that one's a no-go, buddy. Now, Joaquin Buckley calls out Shakur Stevenson. Basically says if he ran into him in the streets, it would be a bad night for Shakur. Is that true? Yeah, I mean, if you're putting Joaquin and Shakur one-on-one, probably. I mean, Joaquin's a lot bigger. But immediately Terrence Crawford gets on, responds like, buddy, we got switches for guys like you. And it was just a very weird call-out. Like, first and foremost, I'm sure the first thing Shakur Stevenson said was like, who the fook is this guy? Don't nobody know your name, right? It wasn't like one of the champs or some big name, right? It wasn't like Sugar Sean O'Malley calling out Gervonta Davis. Like, bro, Shakur is way smaller than you. I'm not even sure what you were hoping to accomplish with that, but yeah, Bud shot that down immediately. He was like, don't try us, buddy. It's pretty interesting, too. Of any athlete to actually cross over, I would have loved to see Bud cross over, just being that he does have a wrestling background, freakishly strong, and then obviously we've seen his stand-up, but yeah, I don't know what he was thinking on that one. Now, something that happened at the BKFC fights, I believe it was 2 weekends ago, not this last weekend, but the weekend before that. Let's check this out. There's a couple videos here. Eddie Alvarez. Let me see this. Yeah, look, Eddie Alvarez and Mike Perry. So basically what looks like happened is oh my goodness. Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez were both at the BKFC fights. Mike Perry said something to Eddie Alvarez's son's girlfriend. Right, that's kind of creepy. He was drunk, whatever. Then he basically tells Eddie's son that he should get used to it because, she's attractive. Dudes are going to be trying to test you. Again, kind of weird. Arguing with him. They're going back and forth. Then his drunk ass looks at Eddie and says, you know what? I think you should do something about it. Oh, Perry's an absolute character. Obviously, both guys. Eddie was like, what did you want from me? He put me in a position. There's nothing I could really do. Perry was like, I was drunk. It was some dumb stuff, but they were all over, buddy. Like, they pulled him down. Eddie, his sons, one of their friends. I mean, it was just chaos. But, yeah, again, like at first, before you knew it didn't make sense because obviously Mike's already beat him in the cage. But, in that situation, he really put it on Eddie there to act like that. So I think they're all good. No harm, no foul. Now, Joshua Van reveals that he's in fight camp. I think it's Tai Tuivasa, I want to say something like that. It's not going to be, the rematch when Pantoja. I thought they would have give Horiguchi a shot. I guess not, but we'll see when the official announcement comes out here soon. Earl Spence Jr. returns after a long layoff against Tim Tszyu. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it's definitely not an easy night in the office. After a long layoff like that, I would think he would pick kind of an easier fight, if you will. But, yeah, we'll see how he looks. Jermell Charlo wants to fight him. It's pretty crazy. The Charlo brothers, for me, I was always a big fan. And even kind of with Tank in the similar regard, like during these prime years, some of these guys are just wasting their career. They're building up all this momentum, making all this money, getting to the big fights, and then, 30, 31, 32, 33, they're just having all these issues, mental problems, avoiding the game in their biggest moments to really just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I really feel like a lot of these guys are dropping the ball with that. But obviously Earl Spence was a little different. Came back from a big accident, so we'll see how he does. Now, Check this video out of Leo Santa Cruz here.
He caught me. I threw the right hand 3 times. That was my mistake.
Oh, he's talking about why he threw 3 punches in a row.
Why the f did you throw that punch 3 times in a row, Leo?
I don't know, because that's what we practice in the gym. Like, we're like, you know, the lefty, you always throw the right hand. Boom. So like,
that was absolutely a terrible idea. I'm not sure what he was expecting with that. But yeah, that one, I remember that was one of the first times I thought I saw a boxer die. I remember Tank hit him. He was out. His dad, it was so sad. His dad made it to the fight. He was like in a wheelchair cage side. He was sitting there praying over him. He was absolutely out. That was one of the most brutal knockouts I had seen, like, you know, while the fight was in front of me there. So that's pretty crazy. But like he said, that's what he felt like was going to work. Now, Big Flames. I don't really know this guy's real name. He's been transitioning to streaming. I guess at one time he was cornering a lot of fighters. Check this out. Oh, this is him on this guy Oblivion stream. And he's basically admitting that he gave Julio Cesar Chavez a perk in between rounds. If you notice, right before he puts the mouthpiece in, he slips something in there. That is absolutely nuts. These guys are just crazy. And Julio, like I said, Julio is one of those guys that for sure has always just tried to live in his dad's shadow. He never really wanted it. He never was like super dedicated or, you know, going all out with it. He was more so just collecting paychecks. His biggest fights, he fought Canelo. He didn't do anything. He lost to Anderson Silva. I mean, just when it comes to boxing, that guy didn't do much. Shout outs to Cain Velasquez. Came home yesterday from prison. Should have never went in the first place. Nevertheless, he's finally home. It's crazy to me, all the research I've done, the guy that, you know, actually did all the stuff in which caused him to do this, I believe he only got probation. He never even went to prison. And the guy who retaliates against him does 3 years and some change. You know, that doesn't make any sense, America. We definitely are slacking on that one, in particular the state of California. Let the kids down, let Cain down, right? That shows people that when they do that stuff, they get a slap on the wrist, essentially. And if someone retaliates against them, they go to prison. So I'm not sure how you justify or that makes sense. If you guys like the episode so far, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share it with a friend. Post it on your social media. Tag us on there, and I'll repost it. I appreciate everybody for the support. We have a YouTube, TikTok. All the videos are on there. Thank you, guys. Let's get back into it. Now, this Canadian in the Olympics in curling was caught cheating. I don't know all the rules and everything like that. They had a camera right around where the guy cheated. I guess you can't put your hand on the thing, whatever it is, and he did. And I guess it seems like the only reason it was viral is because he was adamant that he did not cheat. He didn't touch it, but we got instant replay, buddy. You're in 2026, so I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's curling. I mean, I feel like I could hop right in there and do that, but maybe I'm wrong. Holy smokes, guys. Let's check this out. DJ Vlad, I have a confession. Rock Nation has been paying me to support Megan Thee Stallion. They also paid off the jury members to convict Tory, and they bribed the judge too. Jay-Z did a verse for his grandson's new album. They paid off Megan's doctor to lie about the bullet fragments. She never got shot. Oh my goodness, guys. This is on Vlad's, I guess it's now X, but his, Twitter page. The LA police are on Jay's payroll as well. And it doesn't stop with LA, but you're not ready to hear that part. The Mexican guy who stabbed Tory, who do you think paid him to do that? You already know the answer to that. The 3 Supreme Court judges who denied Tory's appeal, all paid off by the Rock Mafia. Jay also paid Trump not to pardon Tory. Even though in a state case, Trump can only pardon federal cases, but knowing Trump likes to bend the rules, Jay wasn't taking any chances. I can't keep these lies secret anymore. If this is my last tweet, you know who silenced me. Holy shit, guys. If this is real, if this wasn't someone hacking his stuff, if he really rides on this, I mean, we are talking about some insane repercussions, right? Tory Lane would be released immediately upon, if they figured all this out, lawsuit, millions of dollars. Absolutely insane, guys. I've always thought the Tory case was a little weird, and if all this became true, that is so horrible that we threw this guy's life away. He almost died being stabbed up. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy, guys. So, again, I don't know if it's someone hacked his account. I'm going to wait to see how it plays out, but, you know, that's all I got right there. Now, check this out. This bodybuilder, Larry Wheels, he goes to this jiu-jitsu place and tries to roll with this guy. I don't even know who this guy is, but he knows what he's doing, obviously. He's a lot smaller, and he chokes Buddy out in front of his wife, looks over at his wife, asks her if he likes that. I mean, this is just so disrespectful. It's absolutely nuts. But this guy's obviously a lot bigger, but especially huge, big bodybuilders, guys, they're not very flexible. They're not moving, bouncing on their feet, so it's not necessarily surprising to people who kind of understand fighting, but that's just so disrespectful. You didn't have to call out his wife like that. These new kids are so disrespectful. Check this video out. This Chicago lawyer is celebrating with her client after beating a case where he was facing 30 years for a shooting. Oh, they going hard. That's crazy, dude. In the modern day, man, people definitely maneuver a little differently. So, oh, this is absolutely disgusting. Jaitley Stadium. I think this is in Doha, India, I want to say. Look at this video. Oh, yes, that is them reusing drinks, filling them back up, and then what we would assume to go resell them. That is absolutely disgusting, buddy. We would have to throw down. We would absolutely have to throw down. Listen to this video from RFK.
I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill.
He says, germs are nothing. I used to sniff, you know what, off toilet seats. Woo! RFK, man. That's a health expert, guys. Watch out. Oh, man, guys. Kids these days don't know what Buddy's goal was here. Let's watch this. Don't do it. Come on! Oh my God. Buddy, what were you thinking? So, for those not watching the video and just listening, this guy jumped off a 65-foot structure into snow, and he thought it was going to be deep enough to save him. Needless to say, it was not. He did survive, but he broke a ton of stuff, buddy. What in the world were you thinking? Oh, man, guys. Kids, please do not try that at home. Nick Young versus Blueface has been announced. Hey, I'm all for it in the sense of if people really have beef and they'd rather solve it that way, I'm all for it. Again, this is going to be atrocious. These guys will gas out quickly. I don't even know who to pick, right? I'm just going to go with Blueface, I guess, but I don't even really know who to pick. Ja Rule just cannot seem to catch a break, buddy. I don't know what his deal is, but he was on a plane and he ran into Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo, and of course they all, started giving him shit, arguing and whatnot. We don't really know what happened, but it looked like Ja Rule moved seats, whether he requested that or they just thought it was going to be a problem. But them dudes, Tony Yayo's loyal. He saw them, and you know what I mean? He wasn't about to let that slide. Guys, this one just, Buddy, I don't know what Buddy was thinking right here, but this Olympian, man, I guess he just felt the need to do it. Check it out. Oh, this dude, so guys, he admitted that he says basically 6 months ago he met the love of his life. 3 months ago he made the biggest mistake ever and cheated on her. Buddy, what are you thinking? It's one thing if you guys talked about it, you addressed it, you took care of it behind closed doors. Buddy just came out and told her and the whole world for the first time, not going to go well, buddy. You could kiss that goodbye. I was like, damn, dude, that was definitely terrible timing. I don't know what he was thinking on that one. So Tom Brady and Logan Paul were on a podcast, and this one was pretty interesting. Tom Brady basically ended up telling him his athleticism was cute. And so he's saying basically WWE compared to NFL can't even compare. I mean, again, guys, yeah, these guys are super athletic. It is staged, so they know it's coming, but they are athletic. They do have to jump and spin, but yeah, stop it, buddy. We're not comparing WWE to NFL, to boxing, to UFC, to actual athletes that are taking complete full contact, unscripted with their, bodies on the line. I'm agree with Tom on that one, but Logan really thought, that wasn't going to happen. Holy smokes, guys. We got a Charleston White. This dude was backstage at a comedy event, ended up trying to put someone in a wheelchair in a chokehold. That's probably the only time you won't see Charleston White's goofy ass not using a weapon. Other than that, he's Mason. He's pulling out knives, but he'll choke out a dude in a wheelchair. What a goofball, man. Let's check this video out, guys. This one was a good one. We have Ariel Helwani skiing down the Olympic. Now, this was the Olympic course, so that one did look pretty hard, pretty steep and stuff like that. David Portnoy, holy smokes. He looks like your drunk uncle with both knees blown out, trying to show he still got it one more time at the bar. Hey, nephew, pass it right here. Ariel just looks so scared. He's really not even giving himself a chance, but holy smokes, guys. Ariel's, yeah, we're going to go with Ariel's a little more athletic on that one. What do you guys think in the comments? Ariel Helwani, David Portnoy, who's more athletic? That is hilarious, guys. Man, it's been a great episode. I know we got a couple more things here. Let's check it out. The Mexican OT was riding bulls. Let's watch this one. That's definitely a Texas thing, Shout outs to him, but man, I'm just not doing it. Let's check it out. Oh, that thing absolutely takes him out. Oh my God. He gets right up and takes off, but that's going to be a major no for me. That stuff is crazy, man. Those guys, I don't know what they're thinking. Now, crime of the week. I want you guys to watch this with me as well. So this crime of the week is a little more lighthearted one, but look at this guy. He decided he's a DoorDash driver and he's going to steal his order, but in a smart way, right? Check this out. Puts it down. All right. Taking his picture, getting all set up. Boom, takes his picture. Look, I delivered it. Now, I don't know if it's attached to him, his bag. Watch this. As he starts to disappear off screen, the food starts to come with him. If I see that on my ring camera, I'm like, buddy needed that plate of wings more than me. That is absolute. Buddy, what do you think? They're going to just assume the wings floated away? Like, that is absolutely crazy, man. People are freaking hilarious. That was a great episode today, guys. Tons of stuff we went over. Got some really good fights coming up this weekend. As always, we're going to get out of here on the message of the week. The man who never failed has no glory, right? Anybody that has gotten to a certain level, most people that have achieved great success have had great failures, guys. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try things. No, hard times are going to come no matter what. And if you overcome and learn from them, you will get to exactly where you're trying to go. Appreciate everybody, guys. That's a wrap. Episode 51 of the Daily Dose Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Shout out to all my sponsors. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Let's get out of here on this. And we're out.